All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, as you can see on the screen here, we're going to be messing around with some Gecko Moria. That's right. There's a new card coming out for Gecko Moria in PRB-02, which comes out early October. For the past week or so, or the past month or so, I've been saying late October is when PRB-02 comes out. But no, correction, it's actually coming out in early October for us over here in the West, I believe October 3rd. Okay, and there's a new card coming out in there we're going to be really focusing on in today's video that I think could actually give this leader a little bit more potential. Okay, so let's do this, guys. I'm going to lay out the video real quick for you so you know what we're getting into. First things first, we're going to check out the deck list. After that, we're going to head over to the sim. We got 3 games to go over on the sim. And then last but not least, we'll recap and I'll tell you guys what I think about this leader moving forward. Okay? I will have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and stuff like that in the comments section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comments section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Alright guys, let's go and break down the deck list for today's video, starting off with the leader. Gecko Moria is a 5,000 power, 5 life, mono black leader with the 7 Warlords of the Sea and Thriller Bark Pirates type. And the effect, Dawn times 1, when attacking, pay 2, and then discard 1 card from your hand. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into the trash, and play 1 Thriller Bark Pirates character with a cost of 4 or less from the trash. Okay, so now we're going to go through the entire deck list real quick, guys. If you're a newer player, be sure to pause and read what each one of these cards do, because I'm going to mouse over each one. Okay, so we're running 4 Sindri, 4 Brand New, 3 Inupe, 3 Brook, 4 Tashigi, 4 Hina, 4 Rebecca, 4 Absalom, 3 Dr. Hogback, 4 Perona, 3 Ryuma, 4 Gecko Moria, 2 Stussy, 2 Black Spirals, and 2 Thriller Bark, the stage. So the new card that is coming out in PRB-02, right around the corner for us over here in the West, is this card here. Okay, it's a 6 cost, 7,000 power character with an on play that says if your leader has the Thriller Bark Pirates type, which of course ours does, play up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less from your trash rested, then give up to 1 rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. So guys, understand that you can play out a character of any type with that effect. You only have to have a leader that is Thriller Bark Pirates type. Okay, notice again, if your leader has the Thriller Bark Pirates type, play up to 1 character, any kind of character, and any color character for what it's worth. You know, so if you wanted to try this in green, black, Perona, you could even bring back green characters as well, black or green in this case, with a cost of 4 or less from your trash rested. Now, the only leaders in the game right now that are Thriller Bark Pirates type is black Gecko Moria and green, black Perona. So those are the only options we have currently, but that's okay. That's going to give us enough, you know, to start messing around with this leader. Now, one thing I want to mention is this also gives a rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. That is much more important than it might sound at first, guys, because understand what's going on here. Remember, before, let me go to the 8 cost characters. This card is banned, right? The 8 cost Gecko Moria, this card is banned currently in the game at the time you're recording this. Who knows what happens in the future, but currently this card is banned. This card cost 8, and it was able to bring back a 4 cost and a 2 cost character from your trash, 1 active, 1 rested. And this is an 8 cost, 9,000 power body. Well, guys, this Gecko Moria is actually not much worse, in my personal opinion, because imagine playing this out on an 8 Dawn turn specifically, because remember, we can play this out a turn earlier than we could normally play out this 8 cost Gecko Moria. And check this out, if we play it out on 6 Dawn, well, no problem, we play out a 6 cost 7k, we get a 4 cost from our trash rested, and then we attach a Dawn to our leader and we swing for 6. Now, imagine if we play this out on our 8 Dawn turn when we normally would play out a Gecko Moria. Well, okay, that's where things get pretty interesting, because now we play this out for 6 and we attach a Dawn to our leader. We play out, and we also play out a 4 cost or lower character. Then we have 2 Dawn left for the turn, and we already attached a Dawn to our leader from the effect. Well, now we can attack him with our leader and pull out another 4 cost or lower character, but that time with the leader effect, it does have to be a Thriller Bark card. I just want to mention that this effect here is actually way stronger than it might seem at first. I'm not saying it's broken or anything like that, but being able to play this out 1 turn earlier than the 8-cost Gecko Moria means if we can chain 6-cost Gecko into 6-cost Gecko +2 Dawn, well, now we actually, instead of playing out an 8-cost Gecko, which plays out a 4-cost and a 2-cost, we're actually we're playing out a 6-cost Gecko that cheats out a 4-cost and then allows our leader to swing in and cheat out another 4-cost character. So that does have some potential. I understand people are going to say, like, yeah, but it comes down to what you're cheating out with Gecko. We're not going to go down that route right now. I'm not saying this card is just strictly better or anything like that. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, guys. I'm just saying that in some regards, this card can be even better because we can play it out a turn earlier and it's easier to chain together while developing a board along the way. So really, really powerful stuff here. Now, the version that I'm running today, we got a few cards to talk about. Notice I'm running Sindri, so we have enough Thriller Bark Pirate stuff in here to really get enough advantage and, how do I say it, momentum from our leader, right? We have enough synergy there. We have the 2K counter Sindri. This is going to help us fill up our trash early. And we have Brand New and Inupe, okay? So if we're going first, I think typically we want to go first, by the way. So that way, in a perfect world, with a perfect draw, we go turn 1 Sindri, fill up our trash, into turn 2 leader effect, and start attacking into attacking into our opponent, maybe cheating out the Perona to make them lose a card from hand, or play out this Ryuma as a threat, or play out this Absalom to deal with the 2 costs that they just played last turn, or whatever, right? And then from there, once we get into our 5 Dawn turn, that's where things start getting a little bit more, we have more freedom. Maybe we play out a Brand New and then do our leader effect, or who knows what, right? We have a lot of options from there. Now, going into our 7 Dawn turn, it does start getting pretty interesting, because then we might want to play out our first Gecko Moria and start flooding the board, because this is a 6-cost 7K character. That is not a small character. And then going into our 9 Dawn turn, we get to slam down Stussy. We trash one of our crappy characters on the board and just go from there. So really, really good stuff. There's a lot of possibilities with this deck here, just going on the odd curve. The even curve is actually just as good, though. I don't want to say it's better, because I like going first and putting on pressure with our leader. Excuse me. It should really be noted, guys, swinging for 6,000 with this leader effect, attach 1 Dawn and pay swing and then pay 2. So we're always swinging for 6Ks minimum when we're using this leader effect. And that's actually really nice right now, because think about all the 6,000 power leaders in the game right now and going into OP 13, right? You have red, blue, ace now. You have even green, purple Luffy's kind of a 6,000 power leader a lot of the times. Blue, purple Luffy, obviously. Red, purple Luffy. You name it. There's a lot of different cards out there, and even red, black Sabo going into OP 13. So being able to hit 6,000 baseline with your leader, attack, and get the effect, that is going to be really, really nice. Excuse me, especially since we're flooding the board in the process from our trash. We're not even losing cards from hand or from wherever else. So I think typically, it is good to go first, but going second, guys, check this curve out. So we'll go turn 1, Brand New or Inupe. It doesn't matter. Either one's fine. And then we actually can just, or Sindri, by the way, whatever we had access to, maybe develop a stage. It all depends, right? But then, so that's turn 1. Turn 2 on our 4 Dawn turn, we can use our leader effect, swing 7, and then do our leader effect. Or maybe do something else, like play out a Sindri and then leader effect, depending on what all we drew from maybe the Inupe or the Brand New. It all depends on what we draw, right? But, that turn's just going to be whatever you can make of it. Even if you think of it like this, guys, if you have the Ryuma in your hand, you still want to use your leader effect to cheat it out. So that way you can attach, instead of playing out this 4-cost Ryuma, or instead of playing out a 4-cost Absalom, Hogback, Perona, whatever, instead of playing those out, you want to attach the 2 Dawn to your leader, swing in and pay the 2. So you're going to swing for 7, trashing the character, filling up your trash, and then playing it for that while swinging for bigger with your leader. Now, on the next turn is where things get really interesting. Once you get to your 6 Dawn turn, there are 2 really insane options in this deck. I'm sure there's more than 2, but there are 2 really strong interactions in the deck that I was always looking for. If I have an Absalom in my trash from whatever earlier effects I did with, fixing or, trashing, filling up our trash or using our leader effect, we can now on a 6 Dawn turn go, okay, play out Hina, that's a 5,000 power body, -4 to your character, attack in for 6 with Gecko and tapping 2 Dawn and cheating out the Absalom to start dealing with characters on the board, developing threats along the way and going from there, right? So really powerful interaction there, or something a little bit more basic, a little more simple, just play out Stussy. I mean, excuse me, just play out Stussy. Yeah, do that on 6 Dawn, guys. You might get caught for cheating on that one, but no, play out the 6-cost Gecko Moria. and say, okay, playing out another character, your turn. I have a 7,000 power character on the board, and you could have cheat out. There's a lot of cards you can cheat out with this deck, guys, because remember, you're not held down to Thriller Bark Pirates characters only. You could cheat out any of these cards up here, guys. There are so many targets in the deck to cheat out with Gecko Moria. Literally everything can be cheated out of your trash with this card, other than another Gecko Moria, a Stussy, Black Spiral, or Thriller Bark. That's it. That's the only thing that it cannot hit. It has to be a character that costs 4 or less. You know, but that's everything in the deck, like I said, other than this, 4, 6, 8, 10 cards. Now, one thing that is really nice about this Gecko Moria versus this one is, guess what, guys? This is a 6-cost character. Why would that matter? I may or may not have left a hint, a clue on the screen here. We can actually snag the 6-cost Gecko Moria from our trash with Rebecca later in the game. Return up to 1 black character other than Rebecca with a cost of 3 to 7, so we can grab back the 6-cost Gecko Moria no problem, okay? And then we can play up to 1 cost 3 or less black character from our hand to the field rested. So guys, there's some potential combo here. Like, hear me out. This is Magical Christmas Land stuff here, but I'm at least going to give an idea of some potential turns that could happen here. You ready for this, guys? Okay, so let's just say we have a pretty clear board and we're on a 10 Dawn turn. We can actually go, okay, play out Rebecca, snatching a 6-cost Gecko from our trash. And let's just say for this example, I play out a Hina from my hand that I already had in my hand. Because remember, guys, Rebecca pulls a card from your trash, and then it can play another card from your hand that costs 3 or less. Okay, it's a black character that costs 3 or less. So let's play out the Rebecca, pulling back a Gecko Moria, cheating out a Hina from our hand. Okay, well, we still have 6 Dawn left in this example. Let's play out another Gecko, or let's play out a Gecko, pulling out a Rebecca from our trash, and then we will have that come into play with the Gecko Moria's effect, and then let's have that pull out a Brook, and now with that Hina plus Brook, we're hitting a 5 or less. And we just put, is that 5 characters on the board, guys? I think that's literally 5 characters. Again, let me do the math real quick. So we grab Rebecca, and that cheats out a Hina. And then with the Rebecca, we grabbed a Gecko from the trash. Now we'll play out the Gecko, which plays out a Rebecca, which plays out the Brook. Yeah, so on a 10 Dawn turn, with only 1 card from our hand in that situation, I guess technically 2 cards from our hand, because in this example, we had to have the Hina in our hand already, and then the Rebecca to play out. With just 2 cards from hand, we were able to fill out the board for 5 and KO a 5 or less, and establish a blocker along the way. Technically, it's 2 blockers, but 1 will be rested from the Gecko Moria effect. So either way, guys, just there's a lot of potential there. It seems like it could be very strong. It's nice to have this card Stussy in here because they can just deal with whatever we don't want to deal with. We could just get, and notice I'm running Thriller Bark Stage. Guys, I can just pay 1. If Thriller Bark Stage is established on the board, I can pay 1 and tap this stage to play out in a Nupe or Sindri to help either fix my hand or fill up the trash or whatever. And then, okay, now I play out Stussy for the remaining 9 Dawn. I crack those cards. Now, it doesn't KO them, it trashes them, so you won't get the Inupe on KO effect, but who cares? Now you're getting rid of an Inupe to get rid of their 10-cost character. So the Stussy's just nice to have in here as utility. And then last but not least, we have this Black Spiral. This card pretty much goes in every black deck that I run now. I think the card just has too much utility. I think this card is too strong to not run right now in whatever black deck you're building, at least as a 1 or 2 of. I think it's just worth running. It can just win you games. Okay, against certain matchups, it can literally just win you games. Okay, I think that's about it for the deck list breakdown. Let's go ahead and head over to the sim and see what this deck can do. All right, first game up we have against Red Black Sabo from OP13. Let's get the volume off. Let's get the speed up to 2x, and here we go. Okay, we got 3 games today. 2 are going to be running the list we just went over, and the last one's just like a bonus fun game we'll talk about as we get to it. Okay, so here we go, guys. We are going second as Gecko Moria. We would prefer to go first, but going second's really not that bad. Okay, so we're going to play out the brand new. We're going to fill up our trash, fix our hand a little bit. They attack in for 7, I think that was. We just go ahead and take the hit. We're a 5 life leader. We don't even care. We're completely fine with that. Okay, now right here, I think we're probably just going to use our leader effect. We're going to play out Sindri first to fill up our trash. We're going to swing for 6 into 4. We're going to go ahead and play out a card from our... we have to trash a card first. We're going to fill up our trash a little bit. And we're going to play out the Perona to hit their hand. So I'm trying to attack their hand as much as possible. But I will say this. Playing out the 4-cost 6K double attack Ryuma would not have been bad either. Okay, well, guys, now we have a whole nother turn set up here. I'm trying to see if I have what I want in the trash here to play out this 6-cost Gecko to start putting some more pressure on the board. Okay, because that is definitely what we're going for. Yep, we're going to play out the Rebecca, it looks like this time. No, I'm going to play out the Ryoma. I was going to say, I don't think there's no reason to play out Rebecca right now. We're going to attach a Dawn to the brand new with the big Gecko Moria's effect. Swing 6, swing 5, swing 5. We've got them down to 5 cards in hand. They're up to 6 for the turn, and they're down to 3 life. Our board is completely full. And we have a pretty decent amount of cards in hand. They're going to go 7 into 5 there. I'm going to let that card go. I had to trash a card per the effect of the Kuzan, or the Karasu, excuse me, but that's okay. Okay, they smash into my Ryuma. They don't want to start taking double attack this early on. But hey, guys, now they have a character that's sideways for me to attack into. I'm loving every minute of this, guys. I'm going to love every minute of this. Looks like we're going to swing 7 into it. I should have swung with the character first just to be careful there, but that's okay. Oh, that's why I wanted to use the Perona. They have to lose a card from hand, and then they had to save the card, 7 more into it. And now, guys, I could play out Rebecca, but watch this. I'm just going to go 7 more into it. It's like, does he want to go down to 1 card in hand? I think, and the answer is no, especially now that I'm down to 5 cards in hand. I don't think the effect is as relevant now. Okay, they play out a Bello Betty. They do some searching. They grab a Monkey D Dragon. They're going to be able to fill up. It looks like they're going to be able to put some cards on the bottom of their deck to play out another character. They play out a Karasu again. So, guys, I'm just not as scared of Karasu. It's an annoying card to deal with, that's for sure. But I'm not really that scared of the card at this point in the game. 5 into 5. I doubt he's going to save that. He didn't even have a Dawn to attach to his leader because he doesn't have a Dawn reassigning card on the board. I'm going to go 6 into his leader, 7 into his leader. He's down to 1. I'm going to play out the Stussy, getting rid of the Sindri, popping his biggest character. And I'm going to say it's your turn now. Right, so he just lost that character. We have a 9K on the board. Okay, they're going to play out a Koala. This is going to help fix their hand a little bit, hopefully. Hopefully for their sake, right? Because this is looking pretty rough right now. But, guys, being able to attack in every turn for 6 with our leader is really powerful. Okay, look at this, guys. Stussy on Stussy violence. They just used the same trick against us, getting rid of one of their little 1-cost searchers to get rid of mine. They're going to smash into our Perona. We're actually going to save it because we're going for lethal next turn, guys. We're actually going to go 7, 9, 11. This is lethal. Okay, they got out of that. Perfect. So now we swing in for 9. That's calculated. Swing in for 11. Again, it didn't matter if they had all 2Ks. It would not have mattered. Good game to my opponent. They had Roger in hand. I mean, next turn they could have tried to go for lethal. But if I wasn't trying to go for lethal there, guys, if it was not calculated, all I have to do is leave 2 Dawn active for the turn, and they're not getting that Roger attack in. And it's just that simple. You know, so it's a really tough spot for them to be in. Either way, good game to my opponent. They did not get the best pull because they were not able to establish their 6-cost secret Sabos. I'm not sure if they chose to grab the wrong cards in their search or what, but not getting the stage early on as Red-Black Sabo feels horrible. And get this, guys, they went through 2 1-cost Bello Bettys and a Koala. So this person might need to check the ratios in their deck. Something might be a little bit off, which happens, right? Or they could have just got extremely unlucky. Either way, good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, now we got a game versus Purple Luffy, okay? The volume is off. Let's get the speed on 2x, and here we go. Okay, this hand looks very different than the last one, right? This hand looks very, very different. We're going to go ahead and ship it back. We did not like what we saw there. We're going to send that back. We're going to swing for 6 with our leader, and we're going to trash 2 cards. Seems good, guys. I was just going to, you know, hopefully fill up my trash, maybe get a card from my trash. We get a Perona. They have to trash a card. They're going to swing for 7. They're going to use their Inarashi, very nice, to ramp a Dawn without having to lose a life, I believe. We're going to swing for 5. Then we're going to swing for 6. Looks like we're going to play out the brand new first to help fill up the trash. Beautiful. We probably should have done that first, so that way we could have grabbed a Perona out of the trash potentially, but hey, it happens. That was a little bit of a sequencing issue there. Okay, they're going to go 5 into 5. I think I should actually let this card go, but I think I have another Perona in my trash, so I can use that if I need it. Okay, 10 into 5. Yep, that card's gone. Now, watch this, guys. We get to swing for 6. Well, first I'm going to play out the Gecko. We're going to pull a card out of our trash with the Perona. Now they have to trash a card. Now we're swinging 7 into 5. He has to trash 2 more cards to get out of that. Not trash, but he has to, you know, use the counters on them. And now we're swinging 6 into 5. He's down to 1 life and 6 cards in hand. And I'm at 4 life, guys. Okay, 5K. Let's not take that for no reason, right? There's no reason to take that. Okay, they smash in here. The reason I countered out, or I don't think I did I? So, okay, they go ahead. They're trying to put the pedal to the metal here. Excuse me, because they're in a lot of trouble right now, guys. They're in a lot of trouble. Yes, their board is stronger than mine, but they're down to 1 life. I'm going to play out another Gecko. I'm going to hit their hand again. They have to trash a card. They trash Law. And now I'm just going to poke, chip damage right across the board. I could probably try to swing 7-7-7 here if I wanted. Okay, they're going to take that. Now I'm going to swing for, again, I mean, I don't need to play anything for my hand. My hand's fine. Okay, right here, looks like I'm looking what's in my trash if I want to play anything out. No, we're just going to swing 9. I'm going to force him to Gum Giant and go down in Dawn. And now he gets out of that, and now he's up to 9 Dawn for the turn. He can't ramp with his he cannot ramp with his leader effect because he doesn't have any life left. Okay, that Onami's not going to help him very much, is it, guys? Because I am running Absalom in the deck. Okay, I have 3 life. I don't have a lot of counter power in hand, to be fair. I only have 9k in counter. Okay, then we get another 2k from life. We're fine now. Pretty much no way to lose at this point. Okay, 10 into 5, 10 into 5. You can have these. Maybe I'll save this. I don't think I should. Yep, we'll just let that go. And here we go, guys. Let's see. They're gonna have to pass it back. Nice. We get a Brook from the top deck here, but I don't think we're gonna need it. We're gonna play out the Rebecca here, pulling out the Hina, going -4 to the Onami. Now we're going to swing for 7 as our first attack, and we're going to trash a card from hand, probably the stage at this point. We don't need the stage. It could have been the Ryuma too. Play out the Absalom over the brand new. We're going to put some cards back, KO the Onami. We're coming in for 7, and he's going to have to give us something here. He's going to have to really give us something here, guys. There's a 0 cost 3k and a 2k to get out of it. Or no, excuse me, I think it was just a 0 cost 3k. He gets out of it. 7, there's a Gum Giant. He's down to 7 Dawn. I'm swinging him for 9 now. Okay, he had only enough to get out of that. But here's the thing, guys. Even if he Gum Giants there, he was at 7. He would have gone down to 5 and then back up to 7 for the turn. I have 2 life and a blocker. So he has to find some way to get around this blocker because otherwise I have 2, 4, 6k counter in hand. Now, I don't have any counter power coming out of life, but he just doesn't have enough at that point, right? Because I can block out a 1 attack and then he only has 2 more relevant attacks. Unless he decided to split his Dawn for Inarashi and his leader, then I counter appropriately, right? He has to telegraph that, if that makes sense. For example, if he just does a 5k poke with his leader, okay, I know something's up at that point, so I'm just going to 1k counter out of that. Or if he just does a 7k attack with his leader, well, I'm going to 2k, 1k out of that, and then I still have my blocker and 2 life. So we were in basically a checkmate situation there for our opponent. Okay. We got one more game to go over here, guys. This one's just fun. It's not running the list we just saw. It's me just experimenting with some possibilities in OP13. Okay, volume's off. Speed is on 2x. Here we go. Oh, did y'all see my first hand? What was that, guys? What was in my first hand? That was weird. Yeah, it just disappeared, though, right? This list here, we are running a version of the deck that has the 5 Elders in it, okay? So we're going to swing in for 6 here, cheating out a Hogback, not using the effect. We have nothing to grab back from the trash. And the Zoros, their turn 1, they played Verona. Now they're on their turn 2. They're going second. They're going to play out the Zoro that restands. Seems pretty good. And now they're probably just going to swing in for 7. Yep, and we're just probably going to take this. Yep, we take it. We get a St. J. Garcia Saturn. That's right. And there's Jupiter. That's right, guys. All of these cards you can use in any black deck. It's just the 5 Elders, the 10 cost character, your leader has to be Emu to use that activate main. Okay, well, we're just going to keep playing out these Hogbacks just to fill up the board a little bit, keep pressure on. We're going to play out a Cerberus just to help us block a little bit maybe. Because if they want to, you know, tap down the Cerberus and attack into it with their leader effects, that's fine. Then they can't swing into another character for the turn. Okay, here we go. That was our 5 Dawn turn. Our opponent's on a 6 Dawn turn. They're going to play out the Trafalgar Law, pulling back the 1 cost Perona. And now they can play out a 5 cost or lower character from their hand rested. Wow, that is an incredible interaction there, guys. That was really nice. Going second, that's nice. Going Perona for your 1 Dawn turn, even though it's, you know, or for your 2 Dawn turn, even though it's 1. And then on your turn 2, Zoro, turn 3, Law, bringing back the Perona to play out the Tashigi and start beating up the board. Really nice. Okay, here we go. We survived that turn. Now let's see what we can do on the crackback. We're gonna play out the Thriller Bark stage here. We're gonna use to pull out a Nupe. We're gonna fix our hand a little bit. And we're at a situation here where we just kind of have to brawl into our opponent. So what did we just get there, guys? I think we just did a, was that a top? Hang on, I'm sorry, guys. We did we used the Searcher event here to do a top 3 search for a 3 Elders card. We get the Mercury card. We're going to swing for 5, probably swing for 5, and then play out the character. Actually, we might play a card from our trash, maybe. Yeah, we're going to trash something to play out the Perona. They have to trash a card from their hand, and now they also have to trash a counter out with the card if they want to save this. They just let it go, man. That means they're very low on counter power, I think. Okay, this game's not over, guys. This game's not over. They play out another law, pulling back the 5 cost, or the 4 cost Zoro. That means they should have attacked first. They just lost value for no reason there. They definitely should have used the attack first. Okay, but that's okay. They're going to swing for 6. Oh, 7. 7 into 5. It's all yours. I'm not going to save that card. They're going to swing for 9 into Anupe. Yep, you got the Anupe's out of here, buddy. We're going to go ahead and counter out, or excuse me, let that go. And now we do a draw 2, trash 2. Looks like we're going to trash the Mercury. We're going to keep the KO in our hand with Mars. All right. Right here, guys, we are in so much trouble. We're in a bad spot. We're going to play out the Gecko. We're going to play out this blocker here with a on KO to draw a card. But he comes into play rested, so that doesn't help us out too much, does it? Okay, so right here we're going to use our, we're going to swing for 6 with our leader to play a Cerberus from our trash. That is how bad of a situation we're in right now. I probably should have played out a Perona if I had one in there. I didn't check if I had an extra. That would have been smart, and then I could go 6 into this and 6 more into it with the Perona, and we already have a blocker. He lets it go. Okay, well now we're swinging for 5, and he counters out of that one. All right, that's fine with me. Hey, we're not trying to help our opponent win the game, and they end up just leaving, unfortunately. So hear me out, guys. Like I said, this was just meant to be a bonus extra game, and I think there could be something to this 5 Elders package. Especially with a deck that fills up the trash, like maybe Lucci or Gecko Moria. They're probably the best at filling up the trash. And I think, how do I say this? You just have to have 7 or more cards in your trash, and now none of your characters can be removed from the field. None of them. So they're in so much trouble at that point. But okay, so that's it for that game. Let's go ahead and head back to the deck list and talk more about it. So, unfortunately, I don't have that deck list anymore. I completely scrapped it and started working on this one. It wasn't working out super well, but if I type in Elders and go to black, let's see if it comes up. Nice, very nice. So, you can run all of these cards in any black deck. It's not leader locked. Pause and read these cards if you don't know what they do, with 2 exceptions. Okay, we could run this Saturn card as a searcher. This is a blocker with card draw on KO. That was Mercury. So Saturn's the searcher, Mercury is the blocker with a draw card on KO, Venus is the rush card, and then when attacking, you do have to have 10 or more cards in your trash, but when attacking, minus 2,000 power for the turn. Really powerful. Mars is it's a 6 cost. Now, I understand the Saturn and the Mercury are 4 cost, and then Venus and Mars are 6 cost. And Mars has trash a card, and you can KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 5 or less. So you'd think, like, oh, in Lucci, this would be really good. I mean, it might still be good because you're filling up your trash so consistently, but I don't think it will be insane. I don't think it'll be all that great. Okay, then we have Jupiter. Jupiter is just a 2k counter, and he buffs all your characters on the board on your turn if you have 7 or more Dawn. All of your 5 Elders type characters. Now, this 10 cost we can't really run in a package like that because, as notice what the Activate Main says, if your leader is Emu. Now, yes, we could still run the card if we're just trying to search up a 10 cost 12k, but I don't think that's really what we're trying to do. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, this searcher, of course, we can use the 1 cost top 3 searcher, trash the rest. And then we can also run this card, the world's equilibrium cannot be maintained forever. Now that main effect there, all of the characters on your field must be Celestial Dragon type in order to KO a base cost of 6 or less. Never existed we can't run though, because both effects require your leader to be Emu, so we can't run that one. But if we do tend to, like, let me say it like this. We didn't get, I only showed off 1 game and the person left a little bit early. But let me say this, if we're going to explore this more in the future, I think what we're going to want to do is add the stage. I believe we can run this right here. So the Holy Land Mary Joie stage, right? Your turn, character cards that cost 2 or more and have the Celestial Dragon's type cost 1 less to play from your hand. So we'll be able to play this out instead of like something like Thriller Bark. Maybe we'll just run like a Holy Land Mary Joie version of something. You know, I'm thinking Gecko Moria is the way to go. So that way we want to go first. And listen to this, guys. If we go first, we go turn 1 stage, and then turn 2, we can always use our leader effect, or we can pull out the 4 cost Elders, because now they'll cost 3. due to the stage effect if we get that into play early. But again, guys, even if we don't get the stage early on, we could still use our leader effect going first. And then later in the game, if we get multiple Holy Land Marijois, no problem. We'll just trash them with our leader effect and try to find better cards in our trash. So there could be something there. I think it'd be kind of fun, especially some type of Thriller Bark plus 5 Elders package. I think there could be something there. It could be a whole lot of fun to do because this Gecko Moria pulls out the 4-cost cards as well. Okay, so again, I think it's a very cool interaction. Okay, well that's it for that one. Let's focus back in on the main event here, the deck you see on the screen. I do think there's something here for sure. This deck, being able to swing for 6,000 every turn, I think that's going to be very good in OP12 and going into OP13. Okay, because you're swinging for 6, you're flooding the board. That's one thing that I've been mentioning a lot lately. I'm sure you guys are getting sick of hearing it, but I think if you want to do very well in the current state of the game, you know, in One Piece, flooding the board is basically your best bet. And I can't imagine how good this deck would be if we had access to the 8-cost Gecko Moria. Then maybe it would be actually insane. Who knows? Then this would probably be an S-tier deck. You guys tell me what y'all think about that in the comment section below. But as is, I still think this list, pumps, guys. If you guys have any ideas for revisions or anything like that, please say something in the comment section below. I didn't talk very much about Tashigi. Why am I running Tashigi over something like Suru, right? Or why am I running Tashigi even over something like... well, no, mainly just Suru, but I was going to say even like One-Legged Toy Soldier. Well, the answer is this. Once we play out the Tashigi, like, we rest the character and we give -2 cost for the turn, and now that's a character they have to attack into, so it kind of gets double the value if you can play it out, you know, early enough and get value in that way. And then we can combo it with the Absalom, obviously, to do whatever we need to from there. But the Tashigi, this is a very flexible 2K counter spot here. It is, we can get it back with Rebecca, which is nice later in the game. We have 4 Tashigis. Excuse me, we have 4 Tashigis and 4 Peronas that we can fish out of the trash later in the game as 2K counters with this Rebecca. Another card we might want to really consider that I did not add into the list is the 5-cost Sabo. This one right here. This card plus Rebecca has always been a match made in heaven, and I've even made the comment before, guys, that I think if you're like in the past, I've made the comment, if you're trying to build black, the baseline from which you start off building should probably revolve around 3-cost Brook, 4-cost Rebecca, and 5-cost Sabo. They're just like this perfect little match that's just, you could just throw it into any black deck and it just does what it does every time. It's just dependable. They're like staples, basically. Okay, not that you don't have to run them, right? And it depends on what you're trying to build. If you're trying to build something a little bit more, you know, board floody, that's why I'm only running 3 Brooks. This is not a hardcore control deck. I just want enough early on control to frustrate my opponent. Okay, this Brook helps me clear up the early chaff off the board. Let's just get rid of that stuff, and then we can go from there. And then in the mid game, we can even combo with something like the Perona with the cost minus, or the Hina, or the Tashigi, and then we can drop down their cost and deal with stuff from there. Okay, so the same idea with the Absalom. We just want to have a little tiny bit of removal in the deck just to clear through and just keep attacking into what we need to. Okay, so yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm done yapping. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. This leader is a lot of fun. Let me finish off by saying this. This is the most fun I've had in a while on the sim. Not to say it's not fun. I'm just saying that in general, man, Gecko Moria, being able to just attack for 6 as a default, this is kind of like how not 7 cost, I was going to say the 7K attacks from Dofi are, right? You know, who remembers Doflamingo? Yeah, the, what is it, OP-01 leader, I think. Let me type in Doflamingo. This one, yeah, OP-01 leader Doflamingo. Who remembers this? Where it's like, okay, I'm just going to attach 2 onto my leader. I'm going to pay 1, smash in for 7, and cheat characters off the top of my deck. Well, this is basically Black's version of that leader. I'm not saying they're the same. I'm not saying one's better than the other or anything like that. I'm just trying to say if you enjoy that playstyle of, you know what, I just want my leader effect to do work this game. Well, guys, going into OP12, like I said, and going into OP13, Gecko Moria probably is going to be kind of decent at that because this Perona eats their hand up, right? And we can just keep pulling this back over and over again with our leader effect, or they're just going to let us attack twice a turn with it. It's like, hey, pick your poison. Do you want me to attack in for, 5 or 6 multiple times a turn with my Perona, or do you want to attack into it and then I pull it out and make you trash a card regardless? It's up to them, right? And I think the answer, by the way, is they need to attack into it so that you have to use the leader effect, because that requires more Dawn. And think about if you start getting multiple Peronas on the board, then they're in a really bad situation. Okay? Now, one thing I would like to see going forward before we end off this video, I know I keep kind of teasing at it, but one thing I would like to include more into the deck moving forward is more like discard effects. Like maybe introduce negative hollow, maybe introduce something like the 6-cost Nico Robin, or 8-cost Isho. Because guys, check this out. When we go over to the black cards, the 6-cost black cards, this Nico Robin, it can only have blocker and +3 cost if your leader's Koala or Luffy. However, this is still a 6-cost, 7,000 power character with an on play to trash a card, and if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, discard 2 cards. That still happens no matter what, right? That on play effect. But it will not be a blocker in this deck, so maybe that won't be the way to go. But one card that might be excellent right now is this Isho. On play, if your opponent has 6 or more cards in their hand, they have to trash 2 cards at random. Okay, notice how it says it says trash 2 cards from your opponent's hand. It doesn't say, so notice Perona says your opponent discards 1 card from their hand, but Isho says trash 2 cards from your opponent's hand. It's slightly different. I know it's very technical, but the point is this. This happens at random. They don't get to choose. Like with Perona, they get to choose. Like, oh, okay, I'll just trash this brick from my hand. Okay, moving on. And it's only 1 card. Well, guys, if they have 6 or more cards in their hand and you drop this Isho on them, bad news. You know, they just lost 2 cards at random. It might have been their 2 best cards. You never know. Okay, so Isho. Also, one more thing about Isho is this is Navy searchable with our brand new. And one more thing about Isho is if you attach 1 Dawn, not only are you going to be able to swing for 10,000 for the turn, but you just gave their entire board -3. Okay, well, why does that matter? Well, first of all, it makes it where our Brook can hit a 4-cost or less, right, with that effect. And it makes where Absalom can hit a 5-cost or less. Now, combo that was something like the Tashigi or the Hina, and we're hitting even bigger targets now. Okay, so who knows, if you don't like running Stussy and you want to focus more on the 8-cost even curve in this deck, which there's a lot of potential on the even curve, guys. Playing out Gecko on turn 3, the 6-cost Gecko, real nice, real nice. And then you can finish out that curve on 6 Dawn going into 8 Dawn. You can slam down Isho, hit their hand again, and now you're threatening them for the rest of the game with this massive 8-cost 9,000 power character. All right, I'm done for all this time. Let me get the outro page on here, guys. I appreciate everybody who made it this far. Pretty fun video today. Gecko Moria, what an absolute blast. All right, guys, thank you to everybody who supports me, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, or part of the Discord community. Thank you guys so much for helping me out in whatever ways you do. I really appreciate it. And for anyone who's helping out this community in any way, shape, or form, what an incredible community. Thank you to everybody who's helping out in those ways. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, peace.